Hello everybody, welcome to mail day 6 of our mail week extravaganza, and today we've got an absolutely huge package, the biggest one, I think, almost the biggest one I have ever had, and okay then, ew, not easy to get out. So, first of all, for those of you who think that there's going to be something really interesting and high-end, I've got bad news, because this particular package, my friends, contains the cards that I needed for my play sets. I needed some extra copies of some sometimes obscure and maybe not very playable cards. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. And also it contains Fallen Empires. It contains a ton of cards from Fallen Empires, a set that was mostly neglected by me for a very long time. And, you know, as I understood that Atlantic is becoming more popular, and but there are some interesting interactions, and I mean, some people showed to me how different Fallen Empires cards can interact with the existing 93-94 sets, and I actually thought, you know, why not? I thought that I should give it a try, and Fallen Empires for a set, again, when somebody says that old cards are valuable and these cards just are some kind of rarity that should be preserved just because of the age, you know, don't listen to that. Because we've got Homeland, we've got Fallen Empires, even Ice Age, that is a 25-year-old set, just doesn't hold any value at all. Fallen Empires is definitely the set that is the most guilty of, I would even say, devaluation. It's not that there is no appreciation after 25 years, but I think that these cards are even less relevant now. So anyway, first of all, we'll get some extra cards. I've got two Arabian archaeologists, which is really nice. I always wanted to have this card. I talked about the previous Arabian archaeologist copy in a video I made during this mail week. Angus Mackenzie was the most difficult legend to acquire, because he actually has a really important and great ability. It's 2/2, 3 mana, fogs every turn. Just a fog every turn for tap. This is just so powerful. This is extremely powerful, and I guess that he is so expensive because of the commander, because that's a legend, but at the same time I think he's definitely playable in old school. I mean, it's not the same as Ali from Cairo, but in some ways he's even better than Ali from Cairo, except for the direct damage part, but at least lose life abilities do not kill you instantly when he's used, so you get the idea. And also just 3 mana to tap, not so bad. Golgothian Silex, got 2 copies, is a card that I think is a much weaker version of City in the Bottle, I'm sorry, but you know, it kills Mishras, it kills some artifacts that were initially printed there, and you know, it kills a fair share of good cards. The problem with it, I think, is that it has the Nivinneral's Disc effect, because once that this is done, then the opponents can play that again. So obviously it's a much weaker version, and I'm not even talking about Arabian Nights having more important and relevant cards than Antiquities, because this is even debatable. I'm not sure that this is true, but anyway, this is the thing. Oh, that's interesting. These were consecutive copies, right? 113, 118, and this is 17, so yeah. Anyway, here we got the glorious Serendip Djinn. Serendip Djinn is such a great card. I wanted to have him for a very long time. Finally, I have him. Of course, the ability is really, powerful drawback, but it's still a great card to have. It's still a great card to have. There is one more, Idwinifrit, and also there is, oh wow, that is not cool. That is not cool. Inserting two of them in a penny sleeve. Idwinifrit, I've talked about him already, and Planar. What is this? I wanted to say Planar Void. Anyway, Living Plane, obviously. This is Living Plane. It's a very good card. You know, it can be used with Prodigal Sorcerer, for example. It could be used for your own land army and attacking. I mean, it's just a powerful ability. It's just a card that is never going to be reprinted, not because of the reserved list, but because of the philosophy. And it's a really important card, I think, with a unique effect that's really nice to have. So, now, I'm not going to be talking about each of these cards, mind you. I'm not going to be that boring, and we will definitely talk about many of these. As you will see, I got many cards from Chronicles. I've got many reprints. Some of these are from the 4th edition, so you know, it's nothing extremely exciting. Got the original Antiquities Gremlins, and where are the Gremlins, you wonder? I mean, if you look at this card from the distance, you can see some kinds of, what are these? Artifacts? Some kinds of chariot? I'm not sure what it was, but the Gremlins are actually here with these googly eyes. Really funny, guys. Emmy Weber, of course, always delivers in terms of art, always is impressive. Absolutely love that. Tranquility, Time Elemental, Sisters of the Flame, always love the portrait. One extra Singear Vampire needed for the playset. Not sure if I need it, but it is what it is. Phantasmal Forces, Unicorn, the vanilla guy, with the amazing flavor text by Lewis Carroll, probably my very favorite fairy tale, especially Through the Looking Glass, not the Wonderland. Jump, the Tomb, as some people pronounce it. Saddlebags, Monolith, not really relevant. Ivory Cup. You know, the thing is that when I was getting these, oh, now I think that I have a playset of Iron Tree Fox, great. And, you know, when I was going through these are mostly 10-cent cards, just 10 cent. That's it, 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent. Maybe this one is a bit more, and Leegi is a bit more because it's a rare. But anyway, these cards are just so damn cheap, and it's a pity because they're old, they're beautiful, they're amazing, but because of the great print run. And you see, I didn't really check my inventory. I didn't really check how many copies of each card I've got. I just said, okay, Dancing Scimitar, maybe I have one, maybe I have two, but you know, I will get some extra copies to get these to 3 copies or a play set. I don't care really, because I don't want to find out that I need more. Brainwash, Bottle of Suleiman. And I mean that these, I got these cards, as I said, as heavily played copies. I think they are in actually great condition. They're from 10 to 15 cents mostly, and this is amazing, I think. This is amazing. So, Ghosts of the Damned, Equinox, beautiful art, amazing. Absolutely love it. Again, this brings me to the point that people who want to play old school, they shouldn't think only about the power and, you know, how much it would cost them to build the deck, which everybody's tired of already. And I'm not here to, you know, bash the deck and the people who play it. I get it. I get the appeal of this deck. But, you know, there is just so much to explore. Raging Bulls, Hellswarm, Flash Flood, Enchanted Being, Dreamcoat. I might have a playset, not sure why I decided to do that. And we've got plenty of Fallen Empires. Are all of these Fallen Empires? No, not all. But many of them are Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires is such a weak set, and you know, I think I've already mentioned this, that as you can see, I appreciate the diversity of the art, so I usually wanted to have different arts. And it's interesting that, you know, maybe several years ago, some websites did not allow you to choose the art for the card. And, you know, sometimes I ordered the art, I ordered the card, and it was just a gamble to see what kind of art I would get. So I had to order a couple of copies. I remember that. No, it was, I'm actually lying, it was not a couple of years ago, it was 10 years ago when I was trying to build my collection of walls. Org, I didn't think that this card is actually powerful, but it actually is, as was proven by Timmy when I played with him. Had a great match against his orgs. So yeah, definitely worth looking into. Orcs. How different they are. How different all of them are. It's always, you know, amazing to me. There are different colors, different shapes, and there is no uniformity of creature types, but it's fine. It's fine, of course. Night Soil, some strange enchantments, some slow, really slow working cards and such. I think the best things about Fallen Empires are obviously, well, Hump Knights, Hymn to Torak, Goblin Grenade, and maybe Javelineers are sometimes played. But, well, that's pretty much it. But other than that, I think that they have some nice soldiers, and at least 1/1 for 1 mana. It's not too bad. It's not too bad for Fallen Empires. Banding, First Strike. You know, if you know how to use it, I think you can make a pretty good deck. I don't really like this particular kind of ability where you attack, it's not blocked, you can activate some random thing and deals no damage. Oh, don't really want to think about it. Not really interested in that. Blocking creature gets +0/+1 until the end of turn. It's an enchantment. Come on, nobody's gonna use that. Combat Medic could be fine. Thralls are another interesting tribe here. Love them. They're disgusting. They are creepy. They are weird, random. Voodoo Doll, Tackle Maggot, creepy again. Recall. As soon as I realized that some rule sets allow more than 1 recall, started to try and get more copies. Gauntlets of Chaos, as it was proved to me in my Blue Thieves deck, Blue Anvil as we also call it. Not such a bad card. Cyclone, Bronze Horse, not really relevant. Yotian Soldier, remember him as being a good card in Chandelar. Never played him after that, but I should. Weakness, walls. This should be a hint of the coming wall deck and a video on it. Volcanic Corruption, a nice card, I think. A nice card, could be actually playable, but the thing is that, you know, you need a lot of mana, and if you're playing against a red deck, very often it will kill you before you're able to use that. Avenger, an interesting kind of smorgasbord creature, but not really important. Alkalist one deserves a look at. Tunnel Trike, Titania's Song, a really interesting finisher, and could be some interesting combinations, shenanigans with this card. Sinbad for the Field of Dreams. Deck The Shapeshifter again, played however you like him. I recently played him in my Brothers of Fire Highlander deck, was rather successful. Island Home was never a good thing. Power Surge, really want to make a deck for the rule set with Mana Burn and try and play that. Pirate Ship, the Golem, I always read it as Obsidian Golem, and actually as I learned that this is pretty much the same but just a different spelling of that. Mind Bomb for the Reanimator deck. A Life Force, Slay Druid, maybe he can be useful for some powerful lands, I'm not sure. Land Leeches, Karma, 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 Magical Hack, Magical Hacker deck. Junon Ifrit, always loved this card. I love the art here. Sadly, 2 mana is just too much for the upkeep. Warp Artifact for the Evil Enchantress deck. This irrelevant silly cards. The Hive is nice, this is nice. The anti-cards, very very important. Finally decided to get the anti-cards for my completeness of collection, and this is just one of them. There's going to be a separate video on them. Mind you, I'm going to sort them into a separate pile because obviously I'm not going to include them into my main card pool, but this deserves a discussion of its own. Oh, I've just realized they are actually, wow, that's very nice. That's very nice. Why didn't I think of that? They're actually sorted in the alphabetical order. Oh, they're sorted in the alphabetical order, but I didn't look at that. Wait. That's weird. Okay, anyway. I'm going to apply my own sorting rules. It's going to be a long night, maybe even more than one night to organize everything I've got. I would guess that's approximately 3,000 cards that I have now in old school card pool. The Mana Battery, another anti card, anti I think it's pronounced. Raise that random, the lace, nobody likes it. This card always makes me cry because it kills itself. It kills itself, 3 damage to itself, not even 2. I mean, it was only 2. If it was only 2, wait. If it was only 1 extra damage that should be prevented in order to save it from killing itself. Let's say you've got this and Samite Healer, it deals 2 damage to itself. Samite Healer, it's alive, but 2 damage is so difficult to prevent. Primal Clay, Surge the Monster, this Onulet, nice, good. Mahamoti, my favorite Djinn. I'm sorry, but it's really good. It's really good. 5 mana, 5/6 flying, and for a good reason. They decided to make a version of this card with a drawback in the 6th edition, and I don't remember what the original version was. It had Sibylla Spirit, exactly the same, but when this card is attacking, your opponent can draw a card every time it's attacking. It's terrible. So Mahamoti Djinn is so good. And the reason that it's not very valuable is that because it was not printed in Arabian Nights. If it was printed in Arabian Nights, I will assure you this would be an incredibly sought after card. Speaking of magical hack and karma, here is the hack itself. Should be a combo deck on it. A couple of Lord of the Pits known as Balrogs during the test time. During the development phase, Kismet for Stasis deck. Still haven't built a Stasis deck. Feedback, I love Quinton Hoover. I always talk about that, but his art with these contours is just amazing. El Hajjaj. Going to make a black and white deck with live game, and it's always a very weak card. I want it to be good, sorry, but it's very bad. Still going to try. Dingus Egg might be some good combination. Cave People, we have just got Cave People recently from a booster. You will see a video on it soon. Bronze Tablet, one of the cards with the largest amounts of text. Because this is not just text, this is a legal contract, my friends. Black Man a bad. Wait, is it such a bad copy? Oh no, it's such a bad copy of such a bad card. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I already got one. I will put it in the wait. Now I have more than a playset of Ball Lightning. So this is what happens when you don't count the cards that you've got. Okay then. Okay then. Looks like that I already got too many old school extras. Leviathan, 2 of them, eating tower, always nice. Holy armor, gloom, flood, fire elementals. Oh, I think I have too many of these already, but can never get enough fire elementals. Fear Energy Flux, definitely have the first copy. Earth Elemental, Earth Elemental. I've got this amazing miniature, Pota miniature that I showed to you. Might have seen it and remember it. Earth Elemental, Dwarven Warriors, Darkwood Board, Dragon Whelp, Cockatrice, Clockwork Beast, Clockwork Avian, Castle Carrion-Ents. There are just so many cards, so many cards. So many cards. Most of them are, let's be fair, rubbish. But, oh, okay. Here we go with these Fallen Empires cards. Fallen Empires cards are, as I said, pretty much overcosted. I mean, if you knock off 1 generic mana from their casting cost, would they actually be playable? Definitely. Definitely. From activation cost, remove 1 generic mana. So that's all it takes very often. That's all it takes to just make a bad card sackless. Just remove 1 mana from the casting cost, and it will actually be good. Well, I mean, this would be actually too good if you remove 1 from its casting costs. Yeah, but anyway. Dwarven Soldiers. Oh yeah, so boring. This one is amazing. Randy Esplant Face. I think that, you know, this is again an illustration worthy of a great fantasy novel. What's interesting is that it says Dwarven Soldier blocks or is blocked by orcs and gets +0/+2. But here it's not fighting an orc, it's fighting a dragon. This doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, anyway, let's not be, you know, so picky and you know, try and criticize the art, because it's not what we want to do. A dwarf tribe, can it be actually playable? I don't think so, but I still decided to get a playset of these. Catapult, terrible. But again, it's all for the sake of completeness. All for the sake of completeness. Oh wait, I think I have these, but decided to get them anyway. Darylore, creepy, don't like it. Still got 4 copies. Still got 4 copies. This one I have. I mean, it was just so random. I ended up with some extra copies of cards. Maybe I will, you know, put these cards up as prizes for maybe some quiz or something like that. Why not? Oh, Jeweled Birds. Jeweled Birds. Because I still have the hopes of playing for an anti one day. And if I do, Jeweled... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that is terrible. This is not heavily played. This is not heavily played. This is a damaged card. In my book, this is a damaged card. So, you know, I just said that, you know, for 15 or 10 cents, you are getting a rather nice copy. And it's true that it's clean. I mean, if you look at it, it looks pretty good for such an old cardboard product, but then I look at it and I see, oh no, the surface is so bad. For many of these cards, this is true. Not all of them, not all of them. Again, this one, I would say it's rather nice. Well, sure, it's got some, you know, wear around the edges, but this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Bah. Boo. Amulet of Forethought, I think is the name of this card. Pay 3 during your upkeep prevent some damage from spells to use some really irrelevant effect. This guy, reincarnation. Oh, Arabian Berserker. Actually, you remember that I told you that Arabian Berserker was never printed with the right AE or E or I'm not sure how to pronounce this sign. And actually in the Italian copy they printed it with the right symbol here. I didn't even actually think of that. So that's really nice, because as you know, in the English copy this sign is missing. So it's basically Arathi with the small, not capital letter R. Okay, this one, again, I wasn't attentive. I got an extra copy of this, even though I already have more than one. So yeah, again, boo to me. This is a very good card, actually. This is a Black Cockatrice. Not Cockatrice, I mean Thicket Basilisk. People of the Woods. Could be nice. Necropolis, just decide to get an extra copy. This is an extra copy, extra copy. Anti-cards, anti-cards, anti-cards. Planeswalk. Believe it or not, but there is a Planeswalk. And doesn't do much, doesn't do much. Equinox, again, I've got one. Yeah, I went overboard, obviously. I went overboard. I got too many copies of some cards. More than the play set. Even of unplayable cards. But then again, you know, it's nothing really terrible. Some extra copies. Thalids. I should think of building a Thalid deck. I know it's not going to be easy or much fun, but anyway. And here's again our unpleasant surprise. Our very unpleasant surprise of a really destroyed, annihilated card. So that's what you get for being a cheapskate like me and trying to get heavy played copies. And I mean, this heavily played, really nice. I mean, no major issues. Maybe this corner, yes, but still not the same. This is even not pleasant to hold in hand. Oh, I don't know. What is it with green cards? So the green web was absolutely killed, and this one is in pretty much the same condition. And I mean, it's not really this. Oh, and it's also dirty there. Phew, that's absolutely terrible, absolutely disgusting. So don't get the cheapest copies. Very often it's not worth it. I mean, this is a damaged card. This is just a damaged card. Ring of Renewal was surprisingly good when I was playing the Highlander. Just much better than you would think. Order of Even Hand, Orcish Veteran. I had this card, sorry, for about maybe 15 years, and the interesting thing about that is that I got it from a person who had this card even before we were able to order cards from abroad here in Russia. So I was just thinking, oh, it's a card from 1994, it must be so iconic and epic, and I was surprised that it's just worse than a common from a new standard set. Orcish Spy, nice. Night Soil Necry. Oh, another annihilated card. Another annihilated card. What is the deal with this card? I mean, what have they been doing to it? I don't know, is it just me, or do you guys also think that this is not a heavily played but damaged card that should not be sold at all in an online store? I don't know. Yeah, you get what you pay for. But I didn't pay for that. I paid for this. I paid for such a condition. This is a heavily played card, alright. That is not. Anyway. At least the... Whoa. What is that? Dave D? Dave P? Who is Dave P? A signature by Dave D.P. or something like that. Is it some chocolate? Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even want to think about it. Okay, anyway, I'm not sure what this Dave is, and that's damaged. That's damaged. Dave D? Dave D damaged? Oh no. You know, I'm seriously disappointed. I'm seriously disappointed because before that I said that you can easily pay about 10 or 15 cents and get a normal good copy, but you know, once in a while you would get an absolutely terrible card. This one is good actually. Getting 4 tokens for 6 mana in old school is not so bad. This card is also very good, but it's just 1/1 for 4 mana, but abilities are nice. And we've got money changers, so and so, soldiers, some white Fallen Empires cards. Hand of Justice was a really sought after card. Could be worth it, could be worth it. War Drums, again, I definitely have too many copies now, but not to worry. Fungal Bloom, Thalid, 3 of them. So, okay, yeah, this is again a really bad copy, but I mean, it's not as bad as some of the other. I would say that in total we got 3 cards that are absolutely unacceptable, shouldn't be sold as heavily played cards. Damaged cards should only be sold as something you would see in person. But anyway, let's not let that spoil the fun and get in the way of the nice card sorting procedure that I've got ahead of me, and you know, let's not get too negative about that, but I still think it's unacceptable. Anyway, thank you for watching. To finish this video on the bright side, the next video is going to be day 7 in the mail week, and is going to be absolutely epic, you know, the most iconic card of Magic, and there's that. So until tomorrow, bye.